Hello, everybody. Today, we're working on the economy. So we've popped together a new plugin. It's going to be our RTS economy system. It's going to have some actor components. And it's gonna be fun. I'm feeling a little warm, so today's stream might need to be cut short depending on how this goes. If it gets worse, I might not be able to work. But we'll get as much as we can get done as quickly as we can get it done, so that we don't run into issues. We're gonna be making an actor component. This actor component is gonna be our player economy manager. So this is going to be on the player state. It's going to have so the big thing about this is we need to store economy data. We need publicly accessible callbacks to modify economy data, and we need publicly accessible events to listen to economy data modifications. So that is the necessary structure, so like if we think about it, what we need this to do is we need to display current economy figures in a new piece of UI. So we need to have that. We need to modify. We need to enable, disable build actions, whether we can afford them or not. We need other players. So like this isn't today, but like future considerations. Other players should be able to see economy data of their allies in the tab menu. So there's a lot of spinning plates here. And there might be, so like there might be a faction where shooting the, so like let's say you have an economy of gold, and let's just say we have a faction that wants to that requires you to produce armaments. So like you need to produce bullets for your turret to shoot. That very well could and should go through the economy system. So we will add bullets through using a factory, let's just say. So the factory will produce bullets, and then when the turret shoots, it subtracts bullets. I don't know that I'm going to do that, but I want the economy system to be dynamic enough that that's all doable. So our economy data needs to be dynamic. Faction 1 may just care about gold. Faction 2 might care about individual bullets. And Faction 3 might have a population system. So we need to support all of that in our economy manager, because that's how it works. That's what we have. These callbacks need to be super public. We need something we need something to hold maybe okay. So to store the economy data, we need a new directory. There's going to be structs. Right, we have to do structs manually. Excuse me, sorry. Hello, Yo2s. I am working on a tower defense game. In the process of doing that, I have been developing a simple RTS toolkit in Unreal. Basically, I've been building the structure, the infrastructure, the foundation for a full real-time strategy game like Warcraft or Starcraft or Command and Conquer. And we're going to be using that infrastructure to develop a tower defense game. So we need a struct for our economy, which will be a So it's essentially an economy node. This is gonna be the thing that tracks how much gold we have. I'm the only person working on this game. This is first and foremost a portfolio piece for me. Something to show off the skills that I have. So, to hopefully help me get a job in game development in the future. So this game is going to be developed entirely by me. But I have some friends that are interested in game development that I will be working with on a team in the future. And I have an artist. I'll be working with an artist for this game, I expect. So the art isn't going to be made by me. But all the underlying code should be my code. So this here would be this would be a resource, resource data dot h, and this is gonna be pound pragma once. We need to pound include common minimal. It's we can show off what I've done so far. Include core minimal. That's what it is. Let's build. None of this is going to be used yet, but we can show off the current state of the game. But you're right. Game development is complicated. There's not a lot of people in the world who really understand that. There's a lot of programmers, and there's a lot of people who make games. But when it's all said and done, of all the people on Earth, there's not that many of us. And even fewer who are willing to show all of their mistakes and problems in such a public manner. So we also, core minimal, this is going to then be pound include struct / resource data dot generated dot h. That, you know, I get it. That's, comp sci is an interesting world. Okay, so, I built this camera system that pops up. There's a lot of work to do. It's definitely not perfect, but we can zoom in, zoom out. We have the ability to oh, there's some lag there. Oh, yeah. So that targeting logic is still and more recently, this here is an enemy spawner. I still have a debug key in place to tell it to start working, but we now have enemies who can follow nodes around the map. So I'll show you I'll show you the path they take, and then okay, so that's the path that they take. Oh. Alright. And then you can see... Oh, they're not visible. So there's little waypoint nodes in each of the corners 3, 4, and then one that takes them to the center. So they run around. It's cool. And so we have turrets, at least very basic turrets. The turrets will attack. Same camera and simple commands. How do I answer that? Well, I can start by popping into here. So RTS camera cursor is the so this is reading the code itself doesn't matter. So this is all the controls for the camera and the cursor that you were seeing in game. So it's all here. This is how we make that work. So it's about 330 lines of code. So it's not super simple. I wrote that whole thing myself. It uses elements from Unreal that are simple and that are simple and don't have much functionality in themselves. We can pop over to here, our player pawn. So it uses a full blueprint editor. What? Nope. So it uses a spring arm, a camera, a world cursor, which is something that I wrote, a cursor attachment, which is something that I wrote, an attachment handler, which is something that I wrote, and a moving component, or a floating pawn movement object, which is something that came from Unreal. Compile, save. We close. So the cursor is this white circle that follows the world. It is in world space. So let's WASD. It goes up the ramp. And so that's in world space. And so then this is a cursor in screen space once we zoom in far enough. So we have code to transition between those two things. And then come back to our unit. We have this turret. So it's now, that uses the attachment system that I was talking about. It is attached to the cursor right in the center there. And that's fine. That's fine. Oh, no. Those guys shot at each other. Okay. How about we do that? And we do that. So that attachment system, we can then pop over and we can look at this simple attachment system, which has attachment info, which is just a name and a attachment point. The attachment point is a actor component so the attachment point is something that you can place in the world at a location to say, hey, I want to attach something at this position relative to the actor that we are creating. We also have this attachment handler, which is the object, the component that allows other other entities to interact with the attachment points. It uses this interface called attachable, which allows you to query for attachment points, attach to a specified attachment point, detach that slot, and check if a slot is already attached. So overall, it is complicated, but you struct blueprint typed. This is going to be struct f resource data and generated body. Okay. Public isn't necessary. We're in a struct silly game or silly engine. So yeah, that's the camera system, and it does a lot. It does a lot. We're able to, like I said, we're able to zoom out, zoom in. We're able to rotate. We use WASD to move in space, but we can also pan to the edge of the screen to move in space. We have controller support once this connects, so we are a lot of this needs to be tuned still, but no, I don't have a problem stealing the software. Actually, all of this code is open source. Shift F1. So yeah, all of this is open source. So we go into our repositories. We have this Unreal RTS toolkit. And I updated this an hour ago with the changes I made yesterday. So we are, there's going to be a point where where I stop pushing updates to the open source portion of this game. But that is going to be, when I start working on game specific content, if that makes sense. So what I'm working on right now is something that allows you to build an RTS, to build a real-time strategy game. But when I start building my real-time strategy game, that's when I'm just going to start keeping stuff private. People will still be able to see the code in my stream, because a lot of the stuff that's going to matter is the specific art. So the 3D models, the music, the sound effects, that stuff is going to be local to my machine, where this stuff is going to be made public. It's publicized. Anyone can use it if they want. You can come look at all of my bad code if you want. Plugins. The vast majority of the code is in this plugins. So you can look at the simple UI manager that I have, which has that. And we have code for interfaces of has UI manager, and it just gets the UI, allows you to get the UI manager. So it's I don't have that's part of the reason I don't have an issue sharing this. But the other part of the reason I don't have an issue sharing is because I want people to see. It's a lot of work to develop a game. So if someone really makes the decision to yeah. Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot going on. Yeah. Right, back to working on the economy. It's the economy, stupid. So our resource data, we're gonna have a u property, which is gonna be an f name resource. It's gonna be name, yeah. We'll then have another u property, which will be image. F image. Yeah, icon. I did study this. I went to school for game development. It's not what I want. Is it what I want? It's not what I want. No. Unreal image object blueprint. Yeah, I went to school for game development. Texture 2D. U texture 2D. No. U texture 2D. This here's gonna be the icon. We have another U property. So we have our name, we have our icon. Int max value, int min value, show max value. We want to be able to optionally show the max value. So like let's look at Warcraft 3 economy bar images. So Warcraft 3 image new tab. They have gold, they have wood, they don't they don't show the maximum value, but food shows the maximum value. So you're using 7 out of 10. So that's the kind of, we want to be able to handle that, but we're going to handle it dynamically. You know, it's the fun thing is that I didn't get a job in game development coming out of school. I went and did software for 7 years. And then I spent the last 3 years of my life working on simulation. So I was working on in a first-person shooter, effectively, but it was all in a custom engine, and I wasn't doing. I was doing game development, but I wasn't making games. And thank you for the follow, if that makes sense. I was making training software. So we have our name, our icon, max value, min value, and whether we show our max value. Is that everything that we need? Yeah, that's probably all we need. That's probably everything we need. So right now I'm unemployed. I say I'm unemployed. This is what I'm doing for a job right now, which is effectively not you. Yeah, I wasn't working where I wanted to. So I'm doing everything I can to get into game development as an industry. So, you know, I will be releasing this game on Steam. Yeah, I'll be releasing this game on Steam when it's done. But this is one of the primary goals in this is to build a portfolio so that when I am applying for jobs, there we go, that I get that I have something to show, hey, I really can do this. So this is going to have a T array of F resource data. Add the pound include, thank you. And this here is going to be resources. We'll need to work on the callbacks, but this needs to be a U property, and we can just go with edit anywhere for now. So we can now store our economy data. I'm glad to hear that you want to be the first one to play it. Publicly accessible events to listen to economy data modifications. I don't know how to get this available in to blueprints though. That's the issue that I'm gonna run into, because I need this to be able to affect multiple blueprints. I'm from the United States. From about the middle. I can even say I'm from Nebraska. So that's, you know, around the middle of the United States. One of the most landlocked places in the world. Just fun fact there. Yeah. Which isn't quite true. But if you consider each state to be a country in a way, like a unique entity, we are triply landlocked. So accessible call, so we now have we need this and we need this to hook up our UI. I studied in Florida. I went to Full Sail University, which was an experience. Getting your bachelor's degree in 2 years is always going to be an experience, though. Okay. I need to look at the unit system. Source, public, no, public, actor components. Is it team colorizer? Can ever tick. Okay, so we need this. It's quite a place. It's I can understand why people dream of the USA. You know, the funny thing is that I'm of two minds. I dream of Japan and the Netherlands, because in a lot of ways I would be able to live the style of life that I want to live a lot better in those countries, between public transportation and just overall just bikeability that those countries focus on. Not needing a car to get around. The USA sucks in that manner as a person who doesn't like driving. So yeah, I dream of living in Japan or the Netherlands. But at the same time, I'm really proud of my country. I'm really proud of the USA. We do some things really well, and there's a lot of people who live in this country who don't see it that way, and it's a really... We don't do everything right, but there's a lot of things that we do right, and it's an exhausting thing, having that dichotomy inside of me, because one of the things that we don't do right is having cities be walkable. And what a lot of people who drive cars don't understand is that by investing in bike infrastructure and by investing in public transit, it makes the life of a driver easier. It makes them more able to use the road however they want to, because there will be less people on the road, because there's a lot of people who only drive because they have to. I don't know the percentage, but I know that I know, looking at other countries, when you give people other options, they use them. So, okay. So our economy is going to be replicated. When resources replicates, we need to look at the entity info here again. Replicated using on rep side changed. So we pop into here. We're gonna do replicated using on rep resources changed. We pop down to here. We get this U function on rep side changed. It's gonna be instead on rep. Resources changed. Okay. We now need to notify all subscribers of resources being modified. Inside of that function. We need to have... These even need to be callbacks? No, they don't need to be callbacks. So we're gonna do new function blueprint callable. This is gonna be a virtual, or it's gonna be a void add f resource data. This is not min value, this is going to be current value. Okay. Add to current value, and that's going to be an f name, resource name. And we're going to have an int mod amount, or added amount. Okay, so we're then going to for const auto resource in resources if resource dot name equals resource let me break. You're not const. You need to be auto reference resource dot current value plus equals added amount. This can be const, and that can be const. Just pop over here and const these here as well. Saying it's unused? Yeah. Then we can do the same thing. Add to max value. We can do the same. Yeah. No, I completely agree with you. That's one of the things that absolutely it's one of the things that frustrates me about the US is just the sheer amount of conflict going on over that. It's really sad how broken people are. The USA has become a secular state, a secular country, and people have been replacing religion and relationship in their lives with hedonism. It's the simple way to say it. I went on a cruise with my family early this year in February, and the number of people, like, there was some in my family who we went with that were like this, but the number of people on that cruise who were simply there to drink alcohol all day, from the moment they wake up all the way until before they pass out in the evening, was sickening to me. And I just yeah. And that's a very public, very visible version of hedonism. Same with transgenderism and homosexuality. Yeah. Yeah. You know, as a Christian, there are things that just make me so sad about this country, and that's one of them. That people don't have, like, people have just lost themselves to hedonism is the only way I can explain it. Yeah. Current value, max value. What else do we have in here? Resources. F resource data, name, icon, max value, current value, show max value. None of the rest of these three shouldn't get modified. In-game modifiable. In-game const. Now, I will say there are still a lot of people who are good people and have not fallen into hedonism. Your experience in the United States really depends on who you decide to hang around with. So yes. There's a lot of reasons we've become strangers in society. But it's entirely about the people you hang around with. Like, fun fact, I had never been in a bar for any reason until first I did my final in high school for creative writing, was doing a performance on stage at a bar that was closed at the time. The bar was closed. You could come in and do things like that. So that was the first time I was ever in a bar, and the second time I was ever in a bar was at a conference where it was mostly an arcade and bowling alley that also had a bar. But I was there from a tech conference, a Christian church tech conference, teaching people how to be more effective in running that side of our churches. So it's because of the people I hang around with, it's just never been a thing to me. Why do we have these two? You're saying these are unused. That's fine. Add to current value, add to max value. Okay, we need an interface. We need the ability to get the economy manager. Add Unreal class interface. So we get this, we do that, we delete that. And we can just simplify this by brain. There's just gonna be virtual. This needs to be a U function. And it's going to be a virtual... not virtual. It's going to be a RTS economy system. RTS economy manager. Get economy manager. Include player economy manager. There we go. I did a unit system. No. It's in our UI manager, right? No, it's in our... It is in our unit system. It's source, public, interfaces, builder UI.h. Blueprint callable, blueprint native event. Add buildable items underscore implementation. No, I don't need it to be a blueprint native event. No. I need... I don't like that. Exec server client. With validation. This isn't quite right. Okay, well, rest well. Thank you for stopping by. It is 10. Oh, it's hiding behind my screen. It's 10 a.m. right now, so I'll be streaming for a couple hours more, maybe. But rest well and have a great day tomorrow. Get economy manager equals 0. Yes. So now we pop up into here. This is going to be a public. I has economy manager. We grab this. Thank you. We grab this. We pop over to here. Override. We can just return this. Okay, so okay, I'm gonna have to deal with something real quick, so let's pop over to this scene. Getting annoyed by this number, and that's been dealt with. Game dev, hey. So that's handled, so we should now be accessible from blueprints. So we now need to be able to register a callback. Subscribe to an event is the truth. We need to subscribe to an event. Publicly accessible event. Dun, dun. Okay. Well, it's been an hour. I'm going to take a quick break here. Let's go ahead and you can enjoy the music a little bit more while I'm away. Okay, I'm back. Ah, I was invisible for a moment. No. No. um. Bum bum ba da 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 da. Ba dum ba. Okay. That's kind of what I was expecting. So we need to define declare multicast one param, and so this is then going to have our name, which is going to be resource updated. We then have a this one doesn't need to be replicated. And we pop into here. One issue with this I don't love that. I don't love that right there. That's not what I care about. Thanks. Thanks. Current value, add to max value, broadcast, get economy manager. Okay. Let me just if I is less than pre-rep value dot num, let's just say greater than or equal to then here we do if this is not equal to, and then we can say continue, and we can say continue. We do so if the name is not the same, treat it as deleted, and then no, we need a t set of int. Just a t array of int, and this is going to be match or oh my goodness, this is bleh. So in here, we need to update all adds, removes, and changes from pre-rep to post-rep. So we have a T map from F name to bool, and this is going to be resource modified. How about we do that, and then we associate it with an F resource data. Resource map. And so in here we do resource map dot add resource dot name resource, and then in here no. Dot find. This is going to be a const auto updated resource equals that. If updated resource else then we do on resource product right there. That's a continue. If the resources, if we still have this, okay, updated resource is not equal to null pointer. If there is not equal to resource, I'm too lazy to add that. Wow, you're getting you bots are getting okay. So if it exists, and why am I doing it this way? And then, so this is added, this is potent, this here is updated. And then we do for auto reference eval resource map. And then we do no. And this here is deleted. Okay, so that should handle the minimum modification, like the minimum number of broadcasts. Okay. I see. New function. Build? Build? Yes. This is getting really annoying. The fact that people have just decided, like, there's don't mind me. I'm just getting old. Oh, we need to get lifetime replicated props. Right. Virtual void. And then we do life. Give me the... do rep lifetime. And that's gonna be resources. Now we should be able to build. Pardon me. Okay. So, as economy manager, we need to figure out how we want it hooked up. It's probably okay. I'm really drooping, guys. I'm sorry. If I end stream, I'm gonna be working on this. Hello, thank you for the follow. Add to max value. Okay, so the next step is I'm okay. This has been more tiring than I thought it would be doing this simple amount of development. It's only barely over 100 lines of code, and it was apparently exhausting. But I'm doing good. We're at a point where this game is starting to feel a little bit like a game, so that's always good. So the next step in this process, we need to develop the UI. You making something stupid? That's always fun. It's I enjoy making dumb things. So our economy system content, we need to make a folder. It's gonna hold our widgets. That's always fun. GUI frameworks are always always interesting to do. User interface. We're going to make widget blueprint. This widget blueprint is going to be a user widget. It's going to be BP, and this is our economy node. Or this is going to be a resource node. Ah! That was bad. So yeah, BP resource node. Our resource node is going to X11 is always fun for windowing. X server is X server is X server. So we need a panel. It's gonna be a grid panel. We need an image. This image is going to be a variable. It's going to be the resource icon. Next to the image, we're going to have some text. Not in the image. The text goes over there. The text is going to be a variable, and it's going to be 0 out of 0 is what the... No, that's not what that should be. 0 out of 0. And this here is going to be like... Names. This is the resource icon. This is the resource amount. We need a spacer in between there. Actually, I think we can do... Nudge. Yeah, nudge. We want to... nudge out. Let's just say nudge out by 10. Okay. Compile, save. We need to add... We need a blueprint interface. This is BPI. Just BPI resource node, sure. Our new our functions. We need to update. It's just going to be a simple update. So it's just an update function. It's going to take in. I probably need my resource data to be blueprintable. Yes. So it's going to take in a resource data, and it's going to take in a resource data. It's going to take in a single one of those. It doesn't matter. It's taking in one. And we compile, we save. You go over to our graph. Class settings. We add BPI resource node. That update function is really important. So we want to break resource data, name icon, max value, blip, 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 blip. Lots of work to do with those. Set tooltip. Okay, so we set our tooltip. Target would be this. Get a reference to self. Tool menu entry structure. Are we not able to set it? Set tooltip text. Is that what I need? Set tooltip text. That's what I want. Okay. Next step is it's gonna be resource icon, get resource icon. We're gonna do set icon, set tech. Pile, save, over to the designer. Our resource icon, we're at the image. Brush. Okay, we do that. Okay, so we set our brush from texture. Cool, cool. I don't think so. So now we need to generate text. So this needs to be toString. Well, actually, no, we need toString, and we need toString. So now past here, we want a branch. String append. So it's going to be current value that Okay, so that there is our if we show max value, we go up to one place, which is going to then be resource amount, get set text. So that is our true value and our falsy value is going to be here, and that will just be our current Okay, so then we need, so that's inside of the resource node handling its own text updates, or handling its own content updates. Deleted doesn't matter here. We don't care about deleted until we build the resource holder. So we now can close this. We have a new user interface widget, which is going to be a user widget, and it's going to be a BP resource node holder. It needs to be a horizontal box. Yeah, horizontal box, and it's gonna have compile save in our graph. Horizontal box needs to be a variable. That's fine. We have another variable which is going to be a map. Matrices, always fun. This is going to be this here's going to be resource nodes, and that's going to be a f name map from name to BPI resource node. Okay. And then we need to have a resource node class, which that is going to be a single user widget class reference. That's pain. I get that though. I have developed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I've developed 9 plugins for my game so far. I mean, there's almost no code in the actual game itself. Right. I get you. So yeah, there's hardly any content in the game. It's all in these plugins. But I'm developing a toolkit right now, more so than I'm developing a game. Absolutely, I get that. Okay, so we register for a function. So we need a function that will take in a new new param. No, it takes in a resource node. No, a resource data. And that's just a single resource data, and this here is data. Or resource. Okay, this resource, break it. First thing we do is we branch on deleted. Yeah, first thing we do is we branch on whether we're deleted. If true, we want to get resource nodes, find so if true, we then want to branch on that. Let me do this the way. Keep my code clean. So if we are true here, false, we just return, like we just exit. So if we're true, we now need to utilities to object let's utilities is valid. So if we're valid, we branch. I don't like. If we're valid, we branch, and then we to object. Tell it to delete, I think. It doesn't, that's not quite right. You have a thought? Or as you thought, sorry, never mind. I just looked over at chat and it seemed, and I thought I missed something. So our delete case, we have... Why don't I just make a delete function here? You know, let's just do that. In our resource node, new function, delete. Oof. Oof. No inputs, no outputs. Compile. Pop over to here. We don't need it here. We don't need this. We then just do class BPI delete. So if it exists, we delete. Add reroute node and go there. There we go. Okay, we then pop into our resource node. we go to the graph, event delete, remove from parent. Simple. I could do this out, I could do it out here, but there's no reason to, because I can just add that function into there. So that is our delete branch. Okay. And so our don't delete branch, we now branch off of this same thing. And then we can do the same. We can branch off of this same thing. So this here is the don't delete. So this is our update. So we then class BPI update. And then we do resource data. Put the reroute node. Nope. Stop. There. Okay. So if we're deleting it, we delete. If we're not deleting, we branch here. Which, you know, let's reorganize this. This goes to there, and then that goes to there, and that goes to there. Much better. Okay. Happy with that. Cool. Just break that link. Cool. Okay, so now this new function needs to be renamed. Rename. This is resource updated. Okay. We need to pop back into here. So if it doesn't exist, we have a branch we need to do here. If it doesn't exist, if it doesn't exist, we need a branch. If this doesn't exist and it's not deleted, so this goes meh off into nowhere. So if it doesn't exist and it's not deleted, then we need to add. We need to we need to create widget. Yeah, so if we are not deleting, so if we don't have it and we're not deleting, we need to create the widget. And then we need to add the widget to our bleh and add it to our horizontal box here. So does object implement interface. This is going to be BPI resource node. And we're just going to branch. Boop. Assuming it is true. We need to cast to BPI resource node. Okay, we do that. So if we implement the interface, honestly, we need to. We can just do that. Cast the interface. Add a reroute node here because we're going to need it. We then get this, get, add, reroute node, reroute node, name, reroute node, get, add child, there we go. Oh, and then we have one more thing we have to do, which is great fun. Need to break this link. And we need to burp class update U3 can go here. This update's gonna go there. And that resource data is gonna come reroute node there and there. Okay. Simple. Kind of. We update it, we then put it into our horizontal box. Happy with that, I think. Mostly. Okay, so now we have doesn't exist, needs to exist, exists, needs to be deleted, exists, needs to be updated. Yeah, happy with that. We need compile save, compile save, compile save. We're so close, and yet we're so far away. So we now have our resource node. We have our resource node holder. We now need a blueprint. Let me cancel and look at our unit system widgets. We have our layout controller. Ba-da-dum, ba-da-dum. So our build menu. Okay, so really you, and you, and you need to be moved into our UI manager content. We also need to make a blueprint class, which is going to be a actor component, which is going to be BP base layout user. Yeah? So we now pop into here, which is our build menu. This implements that. What? Yeah. So base layout user, we need this and that. What's the economy? So the economy is what we're working on. Oh, add. No. Copy. I want to get build safe builder menu. copy. So just go ahead and write this. This is valid layout. Okay, welcome back. So I'm working on my tower defense game. Working on a tower defense game. But right now I don't have any form of resources in the game. There's no cost to do anything. So I today have been working on a economy manager that's going to be implementing, or it's going to handle all of that resource stack. So we have resource data, and this is going to be the basis of our generic resources. We've built in our economy system, we've built a resource node, which is just a super simple widget that will have an icon and has text with that icon. It gets updated by being passed in resource data. I'm working on some stuff right now. We have a resource node holder, which will hold multiple resource nodes so that we can handle this. We have a callback function that runs all of that adding and removing resource data to the UI. So we're doing everything in a super data-driven, very dynamic way, and we're in the progress of implementing the economy generically for any RTS, but specifically for the tower defense game I'm working on. So that is what the economy is. In terms of... yeah. In terms of gameplay, we don't have much yet, but we have this generic world that Unreal has built in, or just generally comes with. We have enemy units that will follow waypoints. We have a camera that I've built that we can zoom in, we can rotate. These guys are following waypoints that are in the world. I have not heard of the song Mama Economy. Okay. We have some UI that's this. The economy UI is going to be up in this top left corner when it's working. We're not there yet. I have heard of Chocolate Rain. That is my generation of the internet. Oh, cool. Right. I was working on developing in our UI manager the BP base layout user. I'm using code. I'm moving code out from here. We need to build our interface properly, or build this duplicate properly. We have inputs, start, and a valid and an invalid. It's going to be an exec. Nope, an exec. Start. And then we need 2 execs, which is going to be valid and invalid. We also need this get layout slot. Can I copy that and paste it in here, please? No, I can't. No. Get layout slot. We're gonna do this, which this get layout slot. We have an exec and an exec. Start, finish. And it needs a named slot. Yes. This here's going to be slot. Named slot object reference. We can pop that into here. Cool. So we then need variables. Gonna have a variable of a BPI layout holder. BPI layout holder. The results found. That's fine. You can honestly do this. Get layout. Do that. And then get layout slot. Do. Cool. We need a string. Slot name. This is going to be a string. Okay. Exact graph. Event begin play. So in your event begin play, those are good now. Compile, save. We don't need that branch. We do. I just really want those macros to be available. Can I? Class settings, parent class, BP base layout user. Right. We then need this to class settings implement from BPI layout user set layout holder. No, not that. This get. Actually, you don't need to get set. But there we go. Compile, save. That goes in there, so that means you don't need to implement it. No. Nice. Delete. So you have that set layout holder. Class settings. See if this still works after doing that. No, I broke it. Go away. Disassembly. No, that's the menu item. I want... No, build menu, yeah. Toggle breakpoint and go run. Okay. Can I not access macros from... Okay, so that's not quite what I want. It's not quite right. So these macros, can I... Can I get exec in here? Okay, That's great and all, but I want this from... Cool, thanks. I know how to do it from C++ now. Eh. Okay, fine. We're just gonna do rename. Okay. I don't need that breakpoint. No. Oh. Stop. This here's be build menu. I think. Let me double check that. Top down, blueprints, BP, UI layout, build menu. Yes. Save, close. Heck yeah. Okay, fixed. Fixed. Fixed because it's now in a base class. That's why. Shift F1, stop. Now we pop into here, so we now have our layout user, we have our layout controller, layout holder, layout user. Yeah. We now pop into our economy system. We now have a resource. Now a blueprint, which is now it's a actor component, which is a BP resource UI. Pop into there. We also go back into our unit system, widgets, build menu. Okay, so in here, we need this to not be based off of actor component. We need this to be based off of BP base layout user. Yeah. Save. In begin play. Begin play. We need a user widget class reference. This is going to be our resource node holder. Get create widget. Do that. We also want to go class defaults. Our class defaults is resource node holder, BP resource node holder. We then compile save. Want to get slot, get layout slot. Branch. Class defaults. This is going to be economy, I think. I don't remember. Blueprints, new economy, yeah. So economy is our slot name. Compile, save. So if we have the economy, we need to store this. Promote to variable. That is going to be resource node holder widget. Okay. Resource node holder widget. This slot is going to be add child. If true, add child. Pretty simple, all things considered. The next step, the next thing that we need to do is we then need to do get owner BP. I did something like this in my UI manager layout controller. User widget set. If it's valid, we add to viewport. If it, nah. So just get owner. Okay. No. Get owner. Get components by interface. This interface is going to be has economy manager. We need to for each loop. Cast to hat has economy. Oh. What is this? This is a player economy manager object reference. Yes. No. I don't know if it's going to cause problems. Let me save everything. Compile, save. This might cause problems, so Unreal might crash. Unreal didn't crash. Hey. No. I want to be able to register, which I... Oh, okay. That is what I want. That's what I want. That's what I want. Blueprint assignable. Heck yeah. Build. They were right. What a surprise. Okay. Not build menu. I want... Blueprint, interface, BPI, resource, node, holder. Resource updated. Okay. Now, we need one more thing, which is going to be resource node holder interface. It's going to be a BPI resource node holder. I'm so confused. Okay, fine. We're going to... Is that it? That works? I'm so confused. What are you? Actor component object reference. That's what I expect. So we then go layout controller, cast 2. It's like, this I definitely need to close Unreal for. That is such an oxymoron right there. Blueprint type, not blueprintable, is so in my brain. The fact that you can do both is kind of absurd, it feels. Okay. This event is going to be resource updated. Pile save. Okay, next thing, top down. Blueprints, base player state. We now have a BP resource UI that needs to be added. As well as a economy hand manager, player economy manager save. So we're gonna have this, which is gonna be gold. Don't show max value. It's just 10,000, and our current value is gonna be 100 to start with. With no icon. I think that's probably okay. I have one other function I need to hook up that I didn't think about it. I need a initialize function. Blueprint callable, void, and this is going to be add to, or initialize so we need a callback to initialize this function with. We need to why? This is gonna be for auto resources. We can just do this for now. Okay, yeah, we'll start with that. Plugins, economy system, widgets, resource UI. Okay, I think something's that is either going to work and it's going to just show up right there and there's going to be 100, or it's going to be broken. Oh, I mean, we'll start with that, and then minimize you. Am I on client? I'm on the client, okay. Okay. Cool. I mean, it's not, it's... Okay. It's not there. Why isn't it there? Okay, well, let's stop. New, add to view. Let's try add to viewport instead. Compile, save, run. So that's not the problem. That's simply not the problem. There we go. So is this happening? Toggle breakpoint. Before this, toggle breakpoint. Great. Are we even getting here? Because otherwise we'd be hitting... Yeah, so our cast isn't failing. Oh, okay, stop. Yes, I put together my UE skin is valid. Branch. Flap. Flap. Gross. Go ahead and do that. This can pop over here for now. That's what's eventually going to be, but we're not there yet. I wish it had a prop... Like, I wish more people themed Unreal well. This was... it is a big pain to theme Unreal. I wanted to put a breakpoint there. So we never hit that branch, not even... Not even on the local machine. Or not even... Why? Yeah. So we do that. Then we hit that where it is not valid. So this is going to be on the server. And then we do that where we get that. Yep. And then we don't call set layout holder on the client. Or is the layout not existing on the client? Which that's even weirder, but give me a second. So we're on the server. This doesn't exist. That's fine. That's the server. Yep. So here's the client that does exist, and we never are calling set layout holder on the client. Okay. So, quick debrief. I am working on a tower defense game. It's gonna be a multiplayer cooperative tower defense game in the style of Winter Mall. If you have ever played that on Warcraft 3. But we have been... We're currently... Forgot. We're currently working on the RTS underlying toolkit to go underneath all of the tower defensiness. So right now, specifically, we're working on our economy UI. We've done a lot of we've done a lot of work on other bits of the code. So we have a reasonably solid camera. It's not perfect. It can rotate, it can move, it can pan. We have multi-selection, everyone moves together. The UI is dynamically generated. I don't have anything great, but it's working. We have the ability to spawn enemies. So this is a wave or an example wave for the tower defense. They can run around the world. They're following waypoints that I can show you once we are out of the gameplay. We have a world space cursor that is placed in the world, so you see it's snapping to the land. But when we're zoomed in, like when we're scrolled down like this, the world space cursor doesn't feel as good, so it switches over to a screen space cursor instead, which is still locked into the screen. Panning. Yeah. So that's the gist of the game. So those are our waypoints that we're running, the creeps are running in between. So right now we are working on excuse me. We're working on this on a widget. No, we're working on on a UI to display information about resources. So we're working on displaying resources to the player, which, because I'm a silly person, our UI is set up in a very modular way. So we have this UI layout that has named slots to place the UI elements into. So we're going to be placing our economy bar up at the top. Our build menu fills in this slot. We have other things to work on. We're not there yet. That's going to be later this week. This is just our layout holder. We have a UI system that allows both C++ and Blueprint side to make it very dynamic, a lot more dynamic. So we have our layout controller, which you give it a class to spawn as your layout. It then creates it, places it in your viewport, and then does the fun bit here, which is it reaches out to all of the yes, I code in both. I prefer C++, but I want my UI to be done in Blueprints, because I think that's better. And I'd put I'm trying to put as much visual in the Blueprint and as much technical in the C++ as I can. So we have a lot of plugins because I'm me, but we have just good 20 or good 15, 16 actor components that are defined in the C++ that we use. We use a lot of interfaces for interoperability, etc., etc. But like my camera is entirely defined in my C++. So lots and lots of code doing fun things, doing ray tracing, because it follows the mouse cursor. That world space cursor follows the mouse cursor. Yeah. Minimize. So I think... So this doesn't happen on the server. We don't get past this point on the server, which means we don't set the layout holder, which means we are setting the layout holder prior to pop back over to our economy, widgets, resource node holder. Is it you? No, it's not you. Resource UI. It's you. So I don't need to be doing this. This all... Remove breakpoint. Remove breakpoint. That can go back into our base. So... You... Gonna... Get rid of you. Pop this into there. So where does this go? This would go... in here. Compile, save. there. Toggle that breakpoint. We should hit that, right? Okay. So now we close this. It's there! The data isn't there. We don't have... Why isn't our data there? But it's there! Okay. That's... cool. We now need to look at this graph. Let's go ahead and put a breakpoint there. Okay. Step, step, step. We update it. Step in. Tooltip text. Tooltip text was none. Interesting. Zero. Oh, it's white. It's white text on a white background. I'm so smart. There's nothing. There's no way to see what's going on. You, make you dark, and then opaque or transparent, not opaque. And let's go in the blues. No, so this is not, there's not 6 people working on this project. It's just me working on this project. That Discord is me and a group of my friends together. The rest aren't game developers, but they will be helping me most of them will be helping me test when I get to that point. Thank you for joining the Discord, that is. Spin, spin, spin. This project is a dream game that I've been wanting to work on for a long time. It is, like I think I said this earlier to you, but it's designed after Wintermole, which is a Warcraft 3 custom map that I played a long, long time ago. A long, long time ago. That can be reset. I put that in the wrong spot. And I've been feeling personally that there's no tower defense games that I really am loving. I don't need this breakpoint anymore. Recently. And so I wanted to make... Yes! I don't know why it's 0. You shouldn't be 0. But we have our economy UI is showing up. That's progress. Yeah, so there's not very many tower defense games that I really like. So I feel like it's a good time to make a good tower defense game. And there's a lot of niches. No, it's not the most popular genre right now. But the most popular niches of tower defense games are really well filled with things like Gemcraft and Bloons Tower Defense and those games. So I didn't want to fall into and fit a single player niche. No matter how difficult I am or how difficult the game I make is, like, I would just be doing that same thing. So the style of Wintermole is cooperative. So the full-size maps I'm going to make will support up to 11 players playing cooperatively, doing tower defense. But what makes it different from something like Mindustry is that the cooperative, everyone has their own economy that they're running. So it's really 11 single player tower defense games all happening at the same time, except the monsters that leak through player 1 will route through player 2's map, kind of thing. So that's what I'm working on. That's why I'm working on it. And then the rest of the why is that this is a portfolio project. So my goal is to work in commercial games, and I have been trying to work in commercial games for a very long time, and I've never got the time of day when applying for jobs. So I'm doing what I can to get the time to get past that roadblock. So I'm gonna try my best to get this to be really well polished, but I don't know. I don't know how far I'll get in making this a really, really good game. But you know, it's what it's gonna do is it's gonna show off who I am as a developer. So that's the big part. So our economy is showing up with a value of 0. Are we debugging? We are not debugging. Let's restart this. We can close and close. And I want to build. I want to go into our economy manager. Stop. I want to go into our economy manager and call... Yes, it being released is going to be the big win. So there's a lot of work left to do, but there's a lot of work that's done already. So the plan is that the RTS toolkit that I'm developing right now is going to be released open source, so anyone can take what I've done and develop on top of it. When I start working on the game itself, the game properly, that's going to be closed source. Most of that's going to be the art that isn't shared, but there's going to be some game content that isn't shared. But the vast majority of it is open source, and it's all my code's open source already. If you go to my GitHub, I don't have that linked anywhere. But okay, I was debugging. I need to figure out why my resource is saying that it's that there's 0. So I'm not getting as far as I hoped as I would today, but there's parts of this that went a lot slower than I expected. Okay. Resource. Gold, you say a max value of 10k and a current value of 100. Oh, right. Continue. Okay, fine. We're gonna then stop. go into our resource node. Yes, I'm gonna be working. I have an artist in mind that I'm gonna be working with to help me out in this project. However, toggle breakpoint. I don't necessarily plan on bringing in more coders. Since this is a portfolio project and it's my first major portfolio project, I want to have as much of the code as I possibly can be mine. So that's it. It is what it is. But I'm happy to bring in. I'm gonna be happy to bring in artists, because that's a lot of people will find that to be the fun part. And I don't have those skills. Right, run. Let's look at resource data. Your name, what? How are we? Is there a good way to look at the call stack? This is yeah, this isn't my, like, I don't words. I don't know how important that is, since I have 10 years of work experience working with other programmers. I might be interested in a sound designer. I am willing to work on the music, on music myself. But other sound design, I don't have those skills yet. So I might be interested. Like the music in the background, that's me. Still not loud enough. Still. Yeah, that's me. I made it. I made that. I actually ended up, that got released in one of my friend's games. I composed it, and he was interested in using it, and I let him. Resource node. I need to resource node holder graph. Put a breakpoint here. Oh. Okay, it's still 0, but that's a slight problem. That's a slight problem right there. Nope. Compile, run. Resource. Okay, you're still unknown, right? Nope, you're good now. Okay, so it was just, it was, alright, shift F1. 100! The data is there now! Huzzah! Okay. I need to make something quick and dumb in, so, class, no, Unreal class, actor component, this here's going to be debug resource adder. And then I need to look at my unit system so that I remember how to, how to do the stuff I need to do. Actor components, turret.h. I need... Where did I do the thing? It's not... That's not it. Was it... Oh, it was in the creep spawner. That's where it is. F timer, spawn delegate. Schedule next spawn. Okay. Debug resource adder. And then instead of spawn creep, this here's gonna be add gold. Creep spawner. Begin play. Bind U function. Spawn delegate. Your F timer delegate. No, that's right. Yeah, F timer delegate. Creep spawner. So in our begin play, we want this. Play debug resource adder.cpp, begin play. Gonna be add gold. We don't need that. We don't need any. We don't need that. Also in creep spawner, we want schedule next spawn, get owner, get world timer manager, set timer, blip blip blip. We don't need that. We're just gonna say 1000. Spawn timer, spawn delegate, 1000, loop true. We're gonna call add gold. Add gold, we need to do get related singleton component, which is going to be AI has economy manager. U has economy manager, get owner. Const auto economy manager equals yes. If economy manager is not equal to null pointer, economy manager, I need to do a build for it to be happy. Build. Oh, I need to close and build to make it happy. Stop. Build. Close and build. Get owner, parens. You can go into there. Update. add to current value, f name gold, and that's gonna be 50. No. Okay, so we should now every second add 50 gold to our economy, to the gold resource in our economy manager. When I add this actor component to the player state. Top-down blueprints, player state, add, debug, resource adder, compile, save, close, run, 100, wait a second. Wait a second. I feel like I'm missing something. Creep spawner. Creep spawner is min 1 to 1. Whoops! I set that at 1,000 seconds, not 1 second. Not 1.0. So that's every second. Close, stop. Run. Yes, programming is hard. Click that. Hey, look at that! Every second it's going up by 50. Heck yeah. Cool. And it shows up in the UI, and that's what we care about. So I'm gonna go ahead and close you because that's good. That's proof. So tomorrow I've been rushing because I have something I need to do. So we got this. We finished this bit of use case. But tomorrow we need to have we need to hook up our build menu to be able to enable and disable build actions based on whether we can afford them. So we need to hook that up, that same info up to our on resource updated. And then we also need to make it so that when we build, it removes the resources. So that's the next important thing to finish up our economy coding. We have future considerations. I stream around the same day at time every day, or at least 5 days a week, Monday through Friday. That is 9 a.m. my time. It's currently just before 1 p.m. So I'm just at 4 hours now. And I generally... I can't guarantee that I stream 4 hours, but I try to stream at least 2 of game dev in the morning. So... yeah, this is tomorrow's goal, along with I was talking with a friend. The other goal I have for tomorrow, I think, is a bit shorter. We need unit info as well. Yeah, so unit info is the other thing we'll be working on tomorrow. So popping into our layouts, our Unreal is closed. We had a section above the mini map that's going to show the unit info. It will talk about the currently selected unit, or have individual blocks about all of the selected units when there's multi-select. So I don't know if that will be done tomorrow, but we should at least be started on it as well. So yeah, thank you for watching. We made good progress today. I'm actually quite excited about what we've done. So until next time, thank you for watching and have a great rest of your day. Goodbye.